It can be hard to teach your kids about how their emotions can affect their actions and attitudes. Sometimes it is the smallest thing that can make us angry and react in unkind ways. What Should Dragon Do follows Dragon and her two roommates as they navigate the everyday irritations of living together. Dragon responds in anger when things don't always go her way. Through question and answer, kids learn how to choose patience and kindness and how to make better choices. Written by Stephanie Webb with beautiful and colorful illustrations by Kids Art, What Should Dragon Do will make you laugh as you read about Dragon and her adventures with her friends. What Should Dragon Do can be ordered online through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Chapters Indigo, or directly from the publisher at friesenpress.com. It is also available as an audiobook on Audible.
Yep.
One thing we learned from King Germ is just let the microphone roll and get that good audio that you're going to get, or get that bad audio and fix it later on. One thing I will say about him, though, is he has been out here working in editing. I know that's off topic, but that's how we usually start the show, with something that's not on topic, but now it is on topic. And here we go. I am JR.
And I'm Stacy.
And we are Sparrows Under Review.
So today we continue the saga. JR has finished watching and listening to the audiobook of the Twilight Saga Eclipse. He has said that this so far is his favorite part of the series.
So let me get right into it real quick. Here it goes, brother. It sounds a little bit like this when it comes from me. And yes, I am doing my Macho Man and Hulk Hogan promo at the same time. Well, listen, brother, this is what it is. It's action-packed. You have action this time. You get this movie.
Good action.
Good action. This movie is fast and intense. And the one disclaimer is you have to keep up. Mm-hmm. You really have to be very thorough when watching the movie. And knowing certain things from the book afterwards made me like the movie. And each movie I have a hatred for. The one thing that we got to get out the way. Jacob.
Right? You get what I was trying to explain to you, like a little off mic. I try to explain to JR, like, here's my icks, I guess, is if you want to call them. What I disliked when comparing the movie to the book. And a big part of that was Jacob Black.
Jacob is 7 feet tall in the book.
Yes. When we reach this part, I think he's almost 7 foot. Yeah.
So let me do something real quick, and we're going to tie in Harry Potter real quick. There's a character from Harry Potter that's very tall, mm-hmm. and his name is Hagrid. Hagrid in the movie is assumed to be gigantic.
Right. It's kind of like he's part giant, but not really.
In the way that they capture that, they could have easily done with this character, Jacob. Jacob could have been made to look like Shaq. Right. That's basically what he is.
Right. And we're not taking anything away from Taylor Lautner, however you want to pronounce his name. I think he just corrected us recently. You can find that video on TikTok. Not taking anything away from him, because I think he did portray a great Jacob. It's just when you're reading or hearing the description of Jacob from the book point of view, and then you see the movie's representation of Jacob Black, it just doesn't make sense.
So true, so true. Now, my next thing here is this. Let's talk about this wolf pack here, because this is something that me diving into and thinking about, I was kind of like, whoa, I really had to catch this. I had to catch this point again. And catching this point, it was kind of crazy. In the movie, there's 8. In the book, there's 10 wolves. Mm-hmm. So I'm myself trying to figure out, like, why are these extra wolves not taking place? And in our episode, we're having some minor difficulties with...
Right, we got some background noise going. Yeah. I'm trying to cancel it out, but I think we're just going to have to move some stuff real fast.
There we go. Sorry about that, everybody.
Okay.
And it wasn't your laptop. You could have kept that open, because I got mine, and it's gravy. And that's one thing I do want to tell you guys here. To make these episodes a little bit more acceptable and a little bit stronger, I've got some notes.
You took some good notes.
Yeah, I had to get some notes in here, because these key things make sense when you talk about Twilight movies. And let me dig into this. So 10...
In comparison, when you're doing the comparison from the movie to the book.
So 10 to 8 wolves, so you lose 2 of them, which in all the mayhem and stuff that goes on with the violence with the vampires that they're helping out and fighting against, knowing all 10 would have made some sense. And quite a few things would have just kind of like fell off the loop here and there. So going forward.
But also, whenever you read the book, I'm pretty sure that they're not allowed to disclose the number in the pack. And I think whenever they finally do, it's basically because Sam wouldn't... Oops, sorry, guys. It's because Sam wouldn't allow them to be there because they were so new. With all these extra vampires coming, yes, it does kind of go into explain. We have more of our lineage turning into wolves, but we're protecting them and we don't want them around these vampires because not only are the wolves so young, the vampires are new.
Okay.
So I feel like that's an acceptable thing to compare. Like from 8 to 2 is fine, or 8 to 10 is fine. It'd be different if they put 5 wolves in the book or in the movie and they had 20 in the book.
Okay.
So that's a comparison or a change that I'm okay with.
Okay, and I can go with that. Now, tying into the movie. The movie was great. Like, I don't know if it was as long as the other ones. I kind of felt like it was a little shorter.
I don't remember.
All this is you have to just understand my concept is when I sit down to watch a movie, I take myself and I turn it off.
Right.
And I sit there and watch these movies because I'm trying to give the attention to it like it needs. And the book's the same way. Books have been a little rough this go around. I do want to tell you a little story. So I haven't been, I've been home. Yeah. So my approach at home is harder because when I'm at work, I have nothing going on in life.
Right.
So I can just play it and it entertains me. Like next week, hopefully I can get these books from the Libby Library.
So many people are listening to them right now. It's like a 2-week waiting thing with the Harry Potter books that I'm trying to get you to, slide in there too. Some of those are 6 to 8 weeks out.
That's crazy.
And it's so hard to get the audiobook version. I might just have to purchase it.
Right. And I might have to help you purchase them.
Yeah.
And everybody can read into that connotation. But now, here's a crazy thing. Like, and this is just from my view of me traveling home. I noticed something movie-wise with these Twilight movies. They repackaged the DVDs. Yeah,
they did.
They may only be selling them for $5, but they repackaged them. And everybody knows what an end cap is. That's the end of an aisle. On the end of my Xbox and something aisle, like that, whatever that pop
At
culture. Our local Walmart. They're all stashed here, and they got this new blue, whatever
it's
color.
It's like a bluish purple, isn't it?
Yeah. And
I like it.
And they actually have their own stand, so I think maybe there may be some type of resurgence.
Well, there's talk about the TV series, and I think we're coming close to it, like an important anniversary type thing, I think.
And then my other thing is that I haven't been able to research it, but I wonder if these films have been remastered in 4K or something, or UHD, because that's the whole new crave, I didn't mean crave, I meant the new rave. So noticing that they repackaged the movies.
I think 15 years, because it was at Twilight. The movie came out in 2008.
Okay.
So 23 would be 15 years, right? Yeah,
so they're going to probably do something. And then I noticed that with the Taylor guy, he's been running around with Taylor Swift.
He did part of her music video with her.
Yeah, but he was just involved in something just lately, something with her tour. But that's on TikTok.
He came to her tour, like he came to one of the shows, and that's where they premiered her music video that him and Joey King, I think that's her name.
Okay. They were in.
Yeah, like they did this whole action type thing in order for her to get her albums back. And they turned it into like a music video.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's a good tie in there for all
so
you.
that's the reason why they came. I mean, I'm sure that's not the only reason they came to the show, because his wife, who is also Taylor,
yeah,
seemed to enjoy the show as well.
And he did say he would have defended her against Kanye. That was one thing that was a nice little jab in there. Now, getting back over here to this movie, because I always go off topic, but that is something to tie in. So if you guys and gals and whatever else you identify as, definitely go check out those movies at Walmart or your local store if you don't have them already. So back into this movie, we're doing our show in the kitchen, so you might hear the dog. I'll edit some of it out. So one key thing
Stop. Lay down. You can cut that out, right?
Yeah, I'll cut this out. Maybe might just keep it in for whatever, but dog sat here and just went wild. He wants attention.
He does.
And he's like, and I was going to just do our show in our normal little office that we have for it.
Then we would have heard him cry.
But he would have hollered like, "Oh!" He makes a weird, his sound, I know this is really off topic, but his sound is so different from any other dog. It's a whimper that's so pathetic.
You can find it on my TikTok.
Yeah, definitely check out her TikTok. It's so pathetic that I feel bad for it. But anyway, let's get back into this movie real quick. So, movie and book comparison real quick. All kinds of things just went crazy.
And this third book / movie kind of ties everything together. Like you said, there are big differences between the books and the movie, and that's fine. I feel like this movie was a lot closer to the book than any of the other ones in the past, but I also feel like the movie was easier to follow the timeline, and it made more sense when comparing to the book.
Okay, I can go with that.
Because you have everything. You have the trip to Florida. You have Jacob freaking out when she comes back. Edward reading his mind, thinking she was already being turned into a vampire. You have the proposal. What I didn't like is the speed from, hey, we have a newborn vampires coming, to the time that they got there, because there were small things that I would have liked to seen a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because technically Alice, in quotation, captures Bella for a sleepover.
Okay.
Like, it's like, hey, I'm not giving you any option. And Bella goes to Edward's room and sees this huge bed. And if you listened before, he only had a sofa in there because vampires don't sleep. And he went out and bought this bed just for her because of this and blah, blah, blah.
Pretty big, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was supposed to come in like a day or two later after she had already been there because he went hunting.
And I will say this, that I do like the character development they did in this movie because you got to feel everybody. Yeah, it was a little rushed. Now, the only thing that kills me about Twilight, and this is my disclaimer for any person, man, they fall in love too quick and the hatred comes so fast. Like, you can love them on Monday and then don't love them either. Now, the way they make Bella, they trick her out in the movies. They treat her like that she is a Jezebel, and I don't use other bad words because I'm from the South. They treat her like a Jezebel because one minute she's with the wolf, the next minute she's with the vampire. And here is the crazy thing, audience, and this is what got me twisted in the game. Both dudes don't give a shit. One, Edward knows that he gets a stronger love, so he doesn't have nothing to worry about.
Right.
And he can sense everybody's feelings and emotions, and he can read them. The wolf.
So it's kind of like Edward, she's my soulmate. Jacob can try all that he wants, but at the end of the day, she's going to pick me. It's kind of like the Grey's Anatomy. She's going to pick me, choose me, love me. So he can be out there doing whatever he wants and trying all that he can, but I know she's going to come back to me. And then Jacob's like, I know she's with this dude, but I don't care. I'm obsessed with her. I love her. I think she's my mate, or I should imprint on her one day in the future. And see,
one thing I did, go ahead.
You see what I mean when I said to you in the beginning, if you read the books, you're going to be Team Edward. If you watch the movie, I can see why people are Team Jacob.
Right, because the way that it's portrayed. And my thing about Jacob, and this is for people that are triggered by anything, please be very careful in watching this stuff, because it's the innuendo between Jacob and Bella in the movies is not...
Right. If you're not triggered easily, it's fine. If you are very sensitive when it comes to consensual things, and not in a sexual manner, but
just a kiss.
But yeah, basically. Like, he's overly pushy and aggressive when it comes to things like that. And it's like, I'm going to make you kiss me whether you like it or not. So that's portrayed a little bit deeper in the book, obviously.
Yeah.
But the way that they did it, I don't have a whole lot of negatives to say about the movie.
Right. But just an instance of how society is now. 12 years ago, or even 15 years ago,
right.
it wouldn't even been an issue because the connotation of how the story plays along.
Right.
You could see that there's an infatuation. And that's one thing that was very clear. The infatuation was really long and drawn out for Jacob.
Right.
And that's something, and that's stretching from the 2 previous movies. You see
because he had she's my best friend, so she should love me. I can give her a healthier lifestyle. Like the point where they were up on the mountain, you know? Yeah. He's not good for you. And you're going to get more of his reasoning and explanation whenever you get into the 4th book.
Okay.
You're going to see a little bit of it in the movie, but not as much as you're going to get from the book. So what did you think about when they switched the point of view? Because I think that happened in that book, didn't it? Yeah.
It kind of took me for a little bit of a loop. I like perspective, and that's something that they did in the book that I wish could have taken place in the movie.
I mean, it kind of did.
But it's hard to do perspective when you don't change voices, your storytelling voices.
Right.
If that had to happen, then yeah. The other thing, let's get to the one thing that I disliked about the movie.
Yes.
It was rushed. You got a good feeling, and right when you were getting hyped, and I was hyped, I was getting ready, I was pumped. It just ends.
Right.
And it ends with a cliffhanger. It just, and I would have hated to be a person to go see this in a real movie theater and got to wait that long because we don't know how long it took. I mean, you know now because of the progression of history.
Well, I will say that at this point, I had already read the books. So, like the first book and movie, I watched the movie first, then read the books. And then each time I was reading the books and then would watch the movie. So I knew what was going to happen. I did like the way that they ended the movie.
Okay. Just that, like, okay.
Yeah.
So overall, because we're going to tie our episode up pretty good. The one thing that I did like about this whole experience thus far is watching the movies ahead of time and then reading the books. Like I've said before, that whole reference deal and the resources make sense and you see what's added in and what's not added in.
Right. And
certain things that are completely omitted. The movie progression compared to the book progression when you're doing them both, you notice that in this book it was a lot more content and they had a lot less time to make all that stuff. Right. But the choices that they made make you enjoy the movie.
Right.
There was nothing that was cut out of here that holds any relevancy, I guess, if you're going to further.
It's just small details that make a book reader more excited, I guess.
Yes. And I like the fact that book readers have something that they can compare it to and they can be like, hey, this was not on par.
Right.
So thus far as a series, when it's tying into all the greats that I've seen, it can get into my top 20 thus far. And that's really good because I watch a lot of movies and I have over 40 years almost of experience. Yes, that's right, I'm 38, but I have over 40 years of experience. I heard movies when I was in my mom's stomach. And I wasn't in her stomach for 2 years, but we're going to just act like it. So to sum this up, for me, both of them, this book and this movie, on par. The minor details that are taken out of it are fine.
Right.
The things that are encouraged and enhanced by the movie, I am told will define what I watch later. Okay. So when we do the next show,
it's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long one. So with that, the different perspective that I want to take is I want to watch the movie you want me to watch. And then after we watch the movie, we got to get right back on the microphones and record the first portion of the video the audio for that movie.
Right.
Because the mistake I made with this is that we sat with Eclipse and I had to go back and watch little scenes and different things like that.
Right, but it took us longer to get the book because, like I said, it was a 2-week waiting period from the time we finished the movie before you even got to listen to the book. And then with you not working this week, like you said, it took you a little bit longer to listen.
So hopefully,
because I'm awful needy and I need attention.
Right.
So I didn't let you listen to your book a whole lot.
Right. So on that note, I want to give this one, I know we have different rating systems. Right. This one is not dumpster juice. This one's not trash ass. This one right here is, and I hate to come up with this award for it, this right here is my Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Which, anybody that knows me, and I'm just going to make this real quick, Star Wars Return of the Jedi is the best movie out of that whole crop of shit that's out now. So this right here is my Return of the Jedi because like it's a spearhead. What I would do in the future with this kind of stuff is, sometime around Halloween or something, I may take these movies, throw them up on a projector and put them on a screen and let some people watch them or something. I could see me doing more with it that you gave me this great experience of doing it this way, Stacey. So thank you for that. And for any listeners out there and anybody else that reads the transcripts for these episodes, definitely movie to book ratio. This one right here gets a 68% on my part.
Okay.
Now, as a rating for the movie, we don't do star systems or anything like that. I forgot. Well, we had a rating system. I don't even know what we did with it, but
I don't remember.
So I'm going to go old school, and we're going to go Siskel and Ebert. I'm going to give this movie, out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it a 4.
Oh.
It loses 1 star because book to movie translation, just like with any other movie, I don't want to ever say anything's perfect.
Right.
Because I've never seen a book adaptation that has did on to the movie.
Right.
I mean, movie vice versa.
Right. I agree with that. And I think this was, like I said, to reiterate, I think this is one of the better ones from book to movie that made more sense to me. It was a little bit closer. Yeah, there was a whole lot of details that were missed, but I think that's fine with leaving them out in the movie. The biggest difference is, to me, might not be important to someone else. I'm just an attention to detail type person, and I like the little things. I like for things to make sense. Like you said, I feel like the movie was a little rushed. I feel like they could have put like a day or two in between the different scenes and made it feel like it was different. I think a lot of we still get to where Bella doesn't have the job and Bella doesn't feed her dad. And those to me are little details that are still kind of important that they should have incorporated a little bit better.
Yeah, I can see that.
So we want to thank you for listening. I'm Stacey.
And I'm JR.
And remember, we are Sparrows under review.
Great.